This is a story about a young lady named Kathy and her 5 adopted children. Blake, the eldest, is 11 years old. Second is Lucy, who's 10 years old. Justin, who's 9. And twin sisters named Daisy and Stephanie, who are 6. Kathy has been a foster mother to her children for 3 years. But a year ago, Kathy's husband left the family. When the children's foster dad left, he was no longer allowed to see them again. And since that happened, the children's behaviour went from bad to worse. They fight with each other, they shout at each other and scream if they don't get their own way. Kathy was desperate for help. She had no money to take them to school or get herself a job. The only thing she did was raise the children on her own. Her only hope was to find someone who can help, someone who can cook and clean and look after her children while she works. Then she thought of hiring a nanny to look after her children and cook and clean while she finds herself a job and start working, and be a better mother to her children. So she called for a family meeting in the dining room. "Right, you know why I called you here," she said. "Because you told us to," said Daisy. Daisy was quite bossy and always speaks up, whereas Stephanie is quite shy and gentle. Kathy sighed and explained her plan to the children. Blake was not happy with the idea, and he tried to explain that he's old enough to take care of himself and the others. "Blake, sweetheart, you don't cook or clean or take care of the others," said Kathy. Blake sighed in distress. Since Kathy's husband left, his behaviour went from bad to worse. He had a really close relationship and secretly feels a part of him is gone. Kathy explained that she needs to go to work while the children can go to school and make friends. And if it doesn't work out, Kathy may have to send the children back to the orphanage. The children got very worried. They spend most of their early years in the orphanage and don't want to go back. "Are you going to hire a nice nanny like Mary Poppins?" asked Stephanie. Kathy smiled and explained that she will find the perfect one who'll bring a smile to her children. Soon the children agreed with the idea. One night, Kathy went to check on the children. Blake and Justin were asleep in their bedroom, and the girls slept in another room. While the children were asleep, Kathy went downstairs to do some research. There were so many choices, and most of them were very cheap. So she phoned up and got a couple of interviews. But sadly, a few days went by and Kathy couldn't find the right one. Most of the nannies couldn't cook, most of them couldn't clean, and some of them don't like children. Kathy was very stressed and couldn't understand why these people are nannies if they don't have experience or don't like children. The children were in the kitchen fighting with one another because they wanted a biscuit. But Blake took the last one and wouldn't share it, and that made them very angry. Kathy tried her best to stop, but it was no use, as they all kept shouting at each other. Kathy couldn't take it anymore and began to give up. As the children were still fighting, Kathy did a lot of thinking and thought it would be best if the children went back to care. But just then, there was a knock on the door. "Oh, not now!" Kathy cried. When Kathy opened the door, she couldn't believe her eyes. There was a lady with a white hat, normal clothes, and a white umbrella. "Good evening. Are you Mrs. Kathy Hill?" she asked. "Yes, I am," said Kathy. The lady was very kind and introduced herself as Nanny Ava May. "Oh, you're a nanny?" Kathy asked in surprise. "Yes, I am a professional nanny," said Ava May. When Ava May walked inside, she overheard the children screaming and shouting, and she was quite surprised. "Please, make yourself at home, and I'll introduce you to the children," said Kathy. Ava May smiled, but she decided to stay standing. Just then, Kathy went back to the kitchen and stopped the fight once and for all. "Quiet!" she cried. The children froze and looked at Kathy. Right, we have a new nanny here, said Kathy. So I want you to come and meet her and be polite. So the children came by and met Ava May for the first time. Ava May, these are my adopted children, Blake, Lucy, Justin, and the twins, Daisy and Stephanie, said Kathy. Ava May smiled and was pleased to see 5 children together. Good evening, children, said Ava May. The children said hi together, but very quietly. Ava May couldn't understand why the children were so unhappy. Then she had an idea. Mrs. Hill, why don't you make yourself a nice cup of tea and I will look after the children for a little while, said Ava May. Kathy was very delighted. She hasn't had a nice cup of tea in a long time. Come along, children. We've got lots to learn before tea time, said Ava May. The children were very puzzled and they followed Ava May upstairs. Ava May took the children to the spare room. Now we are all here, I think we should start again with our greetings, said Ava May. The children looked at each other and wondered what she meant. Until Ava May walked up to Blake and reached her hand out for a shake. How do you do, Blake? I'm Ava May, she said. Blake shook her hand, but he didn't smile or greet her back. I think you need to learn how to smile and speak very nicely, said Ava May. Then she shook Lucy's hand and smiled. Why do you have an umbrella? She asked. Maybe because she's Mary Poppins, cried Daisy. Ava May laughed and explained that she's not Mary Poppins and it's also not nice to interrupt. Daisy put her head down and Ava May went to shake Justin's hand. Pleased to meet you, Ava May, said Justin. Ava May was very impressed with Justin's greeting. Now you have very nice manners, she said. And finally she went to shake the twins' hands. You have a very pretty name, Ava May, said Stephanie. Well, thank you very much, said Ava May. Daisy and Stephanie smiled at each other, and soon the greeting was over. My goodness, so many names, said Ava May. That made the children giggle a little, and Ava May had an idea that could help her remember. How would you guys like to go on a trip? She asked. But it's nearly tea time, said Daisy. Ava May smiled and knew exactly what to do. First, she got the children to stand in a circle. Is something supposed to happen? Daisy asked, feeling confused. If you close your eyes and count to 3, said Ava May. And the children did, but nothing was happening. Whoops, I forgot something, said Ava May. The children couldn't believe their eyes and what just happened. How did you do that? Blake asked in surprise. It soon became clear that Ava May wasn't just an ordinary nanny, she was a magic nanny. We're out on a big field, cried Daisy. Yes, but before we play, we need all this room to get to know each other better, said Ava May. The children already knew each other, but Ava May didn't. So she had an idea. Ava May taught the children a game. One by one, they stepped forward and introduced themselves. Blake was the first to introduce himself. Hello, I'm Blake. I'm 11 and I'm the oldest, he said. Hello, Blake, the children cried. Then it was Lucy's turn. Hello, I'm Lucy and I'm 10, she said. Hello, Lucy, the children cried. Then Justin. Hello, I'm Justin. I'm 9 and very kind, he said. Hello, Justin, the children cried.